Hey guys, welcome back to One Pretty Little Box and welcome back to Tasty Tuesday. Today we're going to make these amazing chocolate chip cookie cheesecake bars. Here are the ingredients you're going to need. If you want to go ahead and pause this so you can write it down, you can. You're going to want 2 tubes of chocolate chip cookie dough or any cookie dough of your choice. A mixing bowl and a spoon. I did not want to drag out my KitchenAid. You're welcome to do that if you'd like. 3/4 cup of sugar, 2 whole eggs, 2 8-ounce packages of softened cream cheese, a teaspoon of vanilla or a little more, and a dash of salt. Salt brings out that sweetness and just kind of balances the flavors. Also not pictured on this slide, you're going to want about 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. As I said, I didn't want to bring out my KitchenAid mixer. I keep it tucked away because I don't like a lot on my counter. So I am going to mix this with a good old hefty duty wooden spoon. First, I'm going to open up one of these chocolate chip cookie dough rolls and just kind of squish it on the bottom of a 13x9 baking dish. You, of course, can do this in any size dish that you'd like. You can double it and put it in a long lasagna pan, especially if you're feeding a crowd or making it for the holidays and want to share, or a potluck that has a lot of people. This by far is one of the easiest and tastiest desserts that you can make. Excuse the t-shirt and such. On the day that I actually made these, I made them for Father's Day, I was also coloring my hair. So I had to put on an old t-shirt and it has got all kinds of stains on it. But hey, when you're working in the kitchen, sometimes it's nice to have on clothes that you just don't care what happens to. And that particular shirt has been through Hades and back. I let this cookie dough and cream cheese soften together on the counter for about 2 hours or so. So it made it really easy to spread out. Sometimes I'll grab some wax paper and use to push it, but this dough wasn't too sticky, so it was kind of nice. Sometimes homemade dough is a little stickier than the processed kind. You can also use homemade cookie dough if you'd like. I just find that for dishes like these, it's just as easy and just as tasty with the pre-made kind. But, you know, you do you. Now that this is all good and squished, I'm just trying to make sure that it's evenly on the edges because you don't want the cheesecake filling to go up underneath. Of course, it's still tasty no matter what, but I'm probably rinsing my hands with sticky dough so that I can start to mix the cheesecake filling. I remember growing up as a kid, cheesecake was one of those desserts that I liked to order because we didn't have it at home very often. So when I was learning to bake when my kids were little, springform pans were definitely something that I made sure I had in my kitchen so that I could learn to make cheesecake. Sometimes getting this cheesecake batter smooth is hard with just a spoon. That's why this is softened. I do not have a handheld mixer. I just have my KitchenAid. I used to have a handheld, but it kind of bit the dust and I just never replaced it. Good old arm muscle works really, really good. Now that those are finally dumped out and the trash is thrown away, let's add the vanilla to the cream cheese. I like to kind of just dump everything in there. There goes the sugar. I just measured it out in that coffee cup. Add my salt. And just a dash. I never measured this out. I guess if you were to measure, it'd probably be about 1/8 of a teaspoon. I just don't measure. And I was trying to see how softened this was. And as you see, that's still pretty stiff. Of course, you could microwave it a little bit just to kind of warm it up to soften it a little bit more. But I find that once I start incorporating the eggs, it helps a little bit. But right now I'm just kind of breaking up the cream cheese as much as possible. Now it is time to add in the eggs, as you see. I will just start to incorporate the one, and that makes it a little bit easier. And then once I add the second one, it will definitely start to come together a little better. One little tip too is I will bring out a whisk here in a little bit, and that kind of just gets it all smoother. When you're making cheesecake, we go with the standard rule of 1 egg per 1 block of cream cheese. And as I'm doing this voiceover, there is a frog outside of my door. And yes, it sounds like a yapping dog or a duck, as some people have called it. Father's Day for us was very, very quiet, very calm. It was really quite enjoyable, honestly. Even Joel said he really just enjoyed having a calm, peaceful day. Last week he traveled with one of the twins, so he enjoyed being home this weekend. I used to be in the habit of making dessert every Sunday. That was just something that I liked to do, and I got out of that habit, and I'm wanting to get back into that. Also, I used to also make a lot of homemade bread. Not necessarily sandwich bread, but just bread, rolls, French loaves, and I don't know. I guess working at the time, I had summers because I was a teacher, so I had a lot more time off. So sometimes when it comes to the weekends, I just really veg. I've gotten lazy, and I'm trying to break those habits. The bad habits are easy to hold on to, and remaking good habits really is not very easy. As you can see with this whisk, this is starting to come together. I don't think I'll get all the lumps out, but as it bakes, it comes out perfect anyway. I just try to get it as smooth as possible. Even using my KitchenAid mixer, for the last few times I've made this particular recipe, I cannot get it out very, very smooth. There will be little bitty lumps, but it's just cream cheese, so who wouldn't mind a little extra bite of that? I almost added some ricotta into this just to give it a different richness, but I did not. I just stuck to the standard recipe that I've been using for the last couple years. And you guys, this is great. Just to give you some quick tips, this is great with like a double chocolate cookie recipe or an oatmeal cookie recipe. So delicious. And I think this is where I add in the lemon juice that I forgot to actually pull out. Most of your traditional cheesecakes have just a little bit of lemon juice, so I'll put in about 2 teaspoons, maybe a little less. It does not make it overpowering with lemon flavor. It just gives it a little bit of the tartness that all that sweetness needs. It's just a perfect balance. And as you see, it did really kind of smooth out quite well. So the rest of this recipe will go very quickly. I'm trying not to speed this up so that you guys can see the whole time how long it took to come together. So Of course, you're not going to sit there through the baking time, I promise, but this is just the prep. Again, just making sure that cookie dough is flat and pretty balanced. Then you're just going to dump in your batter and then spread it along the cookie dough. What is something you like to make for potlucks or for special desserts for gatherings? My daughter used to love these snickerdoodle bars, which I have not, well, they're actually snickerdoodle blondies, but I have not made them in forever. Maybe that will be something I share later on if you guys are interested. So I'm just going to cut this tube open. And as you see, I did just use the Walmart brand. It is just as good, honestly. It really is just as tasty as Toll House. I'm pretty picky on brands, so all you're going to do with this is just pull off pieces. You kind of just put them along the top. You don't want to necessarily cover the whole top, but you're going to see as I go that I do cover a big portion. It's just not flat like it was on the bottom. And these chunks, what they'll do is they will bake like cookies and spread, and they go up into the cheesecake batter, and it is just so good. Oh my goodness. I sent some of these to work with my husband yesterday on Monday, and they were a hit with them too. It's just so easy. I am not a really big fan of voiceover videos, so you guys are going to have to let me know what you think, if you like these kind of videos or if you would rather just me talk to the camera in between each step. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing. It's part of the creative process of being a YouTube creator. I imagine peanut butter cookie dough would be great too. And as you see, we are coming to the end, so this is nice. And that, my friends, is all that you need to do to prep this for the oven. You're going to put this in a preheated oven of 375, as you are about to see. And I set my timer for 40 minutes, and it was perfect. I was trying to remember. Every time I do it for 35, I need to put it in for a couple more. And there you go. And it will cook. And as I pull it out, it's going to be, I'm going to shake it a little bit for you. It's going to be a little jiggly, but that is your yummy dessert. I thank you so very much for hanging in and watching this with me. I will talk to you guys later.